I have new missions for
What else did I want? I've already got that wide arc one that they gave me up on the ship. I've now got the torpedo. I gotta first go to what's it? You maybe.
You need to do another patrol.
Yeah. I just got to. I was gonna craft some weapons and stuff.
Yeah, I'll take you on another one.
All right, let me swap to the character then. That's on Nelva.
Oh, this is
There you
interesting.
are. No, not Nelva. What was it? Selena. Sorry.
Here's a quirk about Marauding Force that you won't get by reading the tooltip for the actual inventory item. It's a heavy shuttle.
All right, I'm on the character now.
Yeah, because like there's 3 tiers of standard carrier pets: regular fighters, heavy shuttles, and
Whoops.
frigates.
There we go. That's your squad level.
What level is that character at?
52.
Okay, let me.
All right, so now to this mission.
What should I bring in? Shit.
I have not fully upgraded it yet. Like all the weapons and stuff. Which is what I was attempting to do.
I'll just stick with this. Okay.
target's shields have failed.
Let's go back in and do another nice roll.
Okay. Gotta hit the right. Launching.
Waiting on you.
Yep.
There you
It's
are.
loading.
Oh wow, it's hilarious how certain story objectives, being in a carrier, your carrier pets will just be like, "Oh, well, you need someone to destroy something. Okay, job done." Uh,
Alrighty.
That's the one thing I don't like about this thing. I'm definitely gonna want those
Huh.
when I have the money to get the together. I wanna not money, get the fleet starbase and get the consoles that have the better turn radius on them.
the lithium mine.
Yeah.
Neutronium plus turn is one of the things I use on several builds.
Yep, that's what I'm referring to. Once it gets up, I have
One thing to remember about that though is that because this was a really really old fleet holding, it actually gives you the option of buying things that are below level 12. Do so because it gives you extra chances of quality upgrade. And it also costs less to lithium to buy it at that level anyways.
so to get it at like my level right now.
Well, if you're Admiral, it'll be like Mark 10, I guess.
Vice Admiral.
Yeah, it's like getting the Mark 10 one, I think, is the lowest one you can get.
Warning. Ship is under attack. Target's shields have failed.
I don't even know how I'm actually doing on DPS. Ooh, I just went boom. What the hell happened? I just all of a sudden I looked away for like 1 second to hit my.
Did you eat a warp core breach? I heard that's a bad
Well,
idea.
all I did was look over to hit my energy charge, and I looked back over and my ship went boom. That's all I know.
Okay, that was weird. A contact pop window popped up in this mission, assault on Gasco Station, and then it had my bridge officer's face disappear like a second after the thing popped up. Huh.
Let's go back to station. Where it's at. Let's see. Well, we got it up to level 3.
Yeah, your rank leveling was taking most of the XP.
Yeah, but
That is actually one thing I've noticed as a relatively low level character flying the Voven is that the entire time I have been flying the thing, and I picked it up literally as soon as I could. I have gotten a quarter of the way to rank 2. Granted, this is just doing story missions and not actually intentionally mastery grinding with it. But, okay, it's also doing story missions and all of the daily thingies that I've been doing for the events.
Go to rescue and search.
But, well, what I'm getting at is that because the fact that my character is below level 65, the amount of XP that I get per ship kill is considerably lesser than what you would get at level 65. Which is actually part of the reason why so some of the battle zones are terrible for ship mastery is because you're fighting level 50 enemies. You get less XP for killing them.
Yeah. It was just stuck with the other one.
what do you mean?
I forgot what sign is.
I switched ships.
Oops. Oh, I didn't see the guy in here because he's standing in a shadow and I literally couldn't see him. You know, one of the things about this particular mission that I find to be particularly hilarious. I set up my character using the Borg implants from Scorpion's Abyss. I'm using an iMod rifle which has Borg junk glued to it. I have a bridge officer who is a liberated Borg. And yeah, and we're doing a mission where people are talking about how Borg technology is dangerous. Sure. Okay. I mean, I suppose
Ow.
the Thaleron reactors are also dangerous, and but we know how the Alliance engineers feel about Thaleron reactors.
All right, do me a favor. Go sit on top of the big asteroid and point to where they'll be coming in at.
I gotta say, this Assault on Gasco Station mission, when you look around really carefully, there's some cool props. Like the room I'm currently in, you have one of the Romulan shuttles. That's, you know, the same style of shuttle that you will find if you go to New Romulus and wander around the staging area. Well, this one is on struts being held up while they retrofit it. And if you look closely, you'll see they added a bunch of Borg junk to it. It's like it actually has like the visual effect from the
In the wrong spot.
Borg transwarp engine applied to
Where
it.
you at? Yeah, you're in the wrong spot. The big asteroid over here where they jump in at.
Oh.
So you can get behind them.
Oh yeah, it's like when you're doing that Starship Mastery thing, don't you need to get kill credit for all of them, and then kill credit in turn requires you to at least do a little bit of damage?
No.
No?
I've taken guys in where they weren't specced out at all with any gear other than a warp core and an impulse engine.
All right. Yeah, I wasn't sure. It's like, 'cause some of that stuff is like cares about teams, some of it doesn't.
Yeah, ninth rules where you should take all my guys too.
Look at all those torpedoes coming out. Missile commander. Nice. I just got that.
Nice.
I think I'm a little too far out of range, though. There we go. That's a little better.
So you see where they just warped in at?
Yeah.
You just want to be just a little bit out of range from them on that one.
Yeah, they knocked me forward. Like, I didn't even have a chance to...
Engineering team.
I got a component ejections. Okay. That is actually an interesting twist with the temporal probes, is that when you're investigating the temporal probes for the recruit stuff, sometimes the reward it gives you is actually a crafting material component.
There we go. I was trying to find my emergency, like, the evasive maneuvers thing, and I couldn't find it.
Oh. That is actually one of those things that
God
sometimes
damn you!
the game won't automatically slot that for you. You have to manually rearrange your power tray to slot it. Had that happened to me several times. Like I put together a new ship and then I'm looking around. It's like, wait, where's my evasive? Oh crap!
They tried to get me with that freaking impulse jump. Oh, they got me that time. I don't even know. I'm just going too fast.
Look to We've worked to integrate Borg components into our vessels has begun. So far, the process is proceeding as expected. Compatibilities are outputs of 30%. Improved. Blah, blah, blah. There's much about Borg technology I do not understand. Some I researchers are concerned about experimenting with this technology. Yeah, etc., etc. See, this is actually one of those things that I posted a YouTube video today talking about, is that from an in-universe perspective, the Federation is utterly terrified of Borg technology. It's like, oh no, the Borg are evil and dangerous and stuff. It's just, but
That did it.
if you look at that style of technology from the
That's
perspective
5.
of other science
Yep.
fiction works that aren't Star Trek,
And perfect timing because my food's almost.
Nice.
the other fictional works and their takes on that kind of technology are vastly different.
Okay.
I mean, like, for example, RoboCop. It's a world where people have cybernetics as cutting-edge technology that doesn't really work as well as they hoped it would, but people in that setting, if you gave them Borg technology, would be like, oh, hey, so something that does something good and useful and stuff.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, just like, oh, Star Trek is very, very strange when it comes to cybernetics. Like, for some reason, Star Trek treats cybernetics as, I don't know, like being less of a person or something. Kind of weird. Whereas a lot of fictional settings basically just treat cybernetics like superpowers. Which, let's face it, Borg, the list of abilities that Borg have is actually kind of scary when you really think about it.
Because they're a collective.
No, I'm not talking about collective. I mean, like, individually. It's like, in TNG, they established that Borg drones, some of them, were physically as strong as Data. A Klingon could fight one of them, but wrestling one of them, no. And of course, then they have fun things like the fingernail-mounted nanoprobe injectors, where they inject the assimilation nanites into you, which, well, I mean, you know how that goes. And let's see. There's
I don't
actually
know. 7 used yours for good.
there's actually a pretty long list of other stuff too. Like, what do Borg optical implants do?
Cybernetic stuff.
Well, they let a Borg do pretty much the same thing with their eyes that you could do with a tricorder.
Well, that comes in handy.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like, oh, this is just something that the Borg can do by default.
Warning. Ship is under attack.
Like night vision? Sure, why not? Ha, mission return error. You cannot leave the map during combat. Yeah, I had a dialogue pop up during the Romulan Secrets part of this mission with my bridge officer asking me if I wanted to leave the system, and I just mashed F, and because it was still red alert, it told me no.
Okay, there we go. Got my food.
I have forwarded your mission reports and the
All
recovered
right,
data to
where
Starfleet intelligence. We now know the Romulans have been researching
as
Borg
my cat's
technology.
attacking my hand
They
again
were
as I
willing
play.
to risk a war with the Federation to advance their
You're getting
cause.
mauled.
There's a
Pity.
76.77% chance
She likes to maul
Starfleet
my
will
hand when I
take
play.
action against the Romulans to prevent them from
Oh, God.
upsetting the balance
You
of
know,
power
it just
with
occurred
this
to me that
research.
I'm using
If
a
that
Mark
occurs,
IV
I predict
four
we will need you and your crew to
hyper
assist in
impulse
averting
engine.
calamity.
Are you
will
really?
do
Yeah.
well.
Well, again, this is a character that's currently in the process of leveling. I didn't, try to max out all of my gear because a lot of it's stuff that I'm just going to replace when I get to max level anyways.
Meow. My cat's meowing at me.
I used to have a cat that would legitimately watch while I played games like she's trying to figure out how computers worked.
Oh yeah, no, she does that sometimes on the little bookshelf and watch over.
I have
Congratulations,
new missions for you. Takeda, I have new missions for you.
Okay, well, let's see what well, I need to get into a space map. Oh, before I do that. Sure, mission transwarps are free now. I honestly think having mission transwarps cost EC actually was a good idea. Uh, Oh yeah, another thing I noticed while I was leveling this character is that certain mission rewards that used to be bind a character on pickup are actually no longer bound at all when you pick them up. Well, like in the first Contact movie, they actually had a few times when they showed the Borg point of view, when the Borg were actually like walking around, and you would see the world from a Borg perspective, and you could actually see what the Borg were seeing with their cybernetic implants. That was something that was interesting. Uh,
Yeah. Okay.
Well, they kind of have one like that now.
like what?
Like the one you're describing.
Mm-hmm.
One of the newer missions that we had did that. For you turn into a Borg for a short time and.
Oh yeah,
Ow! Yeah!
yeah.
She got me like she dug her finger or her nail right into my finger,
Ow.
right above my nail. It's like ow. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to yell into your ear there.
Just tell her quit being a dick.
Warning.
You were saying now? Sorry, Baron.
No, that wasn't me.
But that wasn't you. Okay, that was Mar
That was
Hawkman.
more.
Sorry
Yeah,
about that.
Mohawk.
Continue, Mar Hawkman, then.
well, well. Uh,
You lost your train of thought. Yeah, sorry.
Way to go.
Didn't mean to do that. Something
Anyway.
about the Borg and their optics.
Yeah. In that, one of the parts of Scorpion's Abyss.
Hmm.
Here's the thing: that overlay that you see for Scorpion's Abyss while you're as a Borg drone is actually something that's been in the game for years. They recolored it to be red when it used to be green, but it's been in the game for over 10 years. normally you only see that if you get assimilated when you're fighting the Borg in a ground combat mission.
Hmm.
But, in cases like that, you will see that overlay pop up.
Right in the middle.
Which, yes, obviously that was designed after the thing from the First Contact movie, though. But that's like the only time we have actually had them talk about stuff like that. Because, actually, one thing from First Contact is that what happens when they activate the Hollow Doctor and have Robert Picardo's character attempt to distract the Borg?
I remember that. Yep.
Yeah, the Borg scans him with his optical implant, and the Borg is like, "Oh, you're not a flesh and blood life form. We're leaving now. Bye."
Well, no. They tried to assimilate him and failed. Remember, they extended the tubicles to
Oh,
try and do it, but it went right through them.
oh, right. They extended the tubes and like, wait a second. Oh, and then they scan him with their optical implant, and
Yeah.
okay, yeah. Still though, it's like it's like they
It's like, why didn't they do that first? That would have been smarter.
well, I guess it's one of those things where it's a matter of expectation versus reality. It's like the Borg weren't expecting to run into a hologram in the medical bay. The
Right.
Federation does use holograms for medical stuff, but it's not exactly something that they have 24/7.
Oh, I want more of those.
One of the things that they've
I just got something on my.
rebuilt in when they redid the Romulan mystery stuff. I love the way that the Sereni Prime ground map looks. Yes, the old one was nice, but this one is a lot cooler and a part of that is the fact it has more interesting terrain. Like the
Right.
whole floating plant thing makes more sense because of the fact that this world's terrain is, not exactly a open plain.
Hmm.
Yeah, the logic of how floating plants work isn't well explained, but it's something that they've had in the game for a long time as like weird alien foliage.
Right.
And Sereni Prime has always been one of the places you could see it. Oh, I ran into an Invisawall. Oh, well, I guess that always kills my fun exploring maps. Darn Invisawalls. Although, like I mentioned a while back when we were doing that To Hell with Honor, is that the map ends somewhere. The Invisawall keeps you from walking off the edge of the map into the void. Sereni Prime's oceans are kind of interesting looking, though, because they're kind of like they're a blue-green color that doesn't look like algae. It looks like chemical wastes, honestly. But again, we're talking about alien biology here, not Earth biology, so who knows? Like, I'm standing on this purple stuff. I'm not sure if it's the color of the stone or if there's some kind of moss growing on the stone that happens to be purple. Because that is actually one thing that I've seen some rather scholarly dissertations about in the past is if your sun in your solar system was some color other than yellow, what would be the optimum color for plants to be in order to maximize the amount of energy they can absorb for photosynthesis? If it's blue or red, that changes things a lot. Ah, well. Actually, one of the things I saw about that is that, like, red dwarf stars because of the fact that they emit more energy in the infrared range than in the visible light range, photosynthesis wouldn't even be all that effective because of the fact that photosynthesis needs visible light to work.
Well, what did you think of them?
Oh, this is a funny mission because of the fact that Sereni Prime is currently in the process of trying to decide whether they want to be a member of the Romulan Republic or if they should join the Romulan Star Empire. Because Sereni Prime is one of the colonies that declared themselves independent during the Romulan Civil War. You know, I'm going to go with stay neutral.
An interesting perspective. Thank you for your suggestion.
Because one of the other interesting story beats with the Romulan Civil War thing that the devs put together was that at least one of the old Romulan colonies actually tried to join the Federation. Apparently they got turned down, but the logic of that is that they, I guess, were not a proper government, and Federation membership rules are kind of strange. There's a lot of colony worlds that were created by humans that aren't actually Federation members. They have to actually apply to join for whatever reason. Huh? I don't understand that. Then again, I guess it's one of those things where, was the colony actually created as a Federation colony, or was it created by private citizens who are... wait, no, the private citizens are Federation citizens.
Warning, ship is under attack. Target's shields have failed.
Fine. Chemicals. Dinner.
Now, that thing with the membership thing getting invoked actually has on certain cases made sense, because with the Kessin Prit in TNG, that would made sense because the fact that having the planet and thus the entire solar system become Federation territory only works if all of the people living in it are willing to go along with that. And the Kessin Prit had a very different set of ideas about that. But if it's a former Romulan colony world that is, a colony that was established by the Romulan Star Empire that is currently inhabited by people who are not loyal to the Romulan Star Empire and have chosen to distance themselves for reasons related to the Romulan Civil War. Yeah. And I know what Spock would say, but, you know, the Federation Council apparently disagrees with Spock on many things. Okay, you know, there is one thing I'm noticing that's kind of odd. Why are several of these maps having purple stars?
not sure on that, but in terms of um, remember, he at one point had to go on his own
Yeah,
because
yeah.
Starfleet did not agree with him
I mean, in
trying to.
Starfleet commanders disagree with Spock on a whole lot of things. I mean, like, there's that
Yeah.
story arc in TNG named Reunification, where Picard sneaks on to Romulus because he wants to talk to Spock in person, and oh yeah, that's right, Spock is living on Romulus these days.
Well, he was trying to convert
Oh yeah,
some of the Romulans.
yeah. That's the entire reason for the whole reunification thing, is that Spock
Yeah.
wanted to talk the Romulans into being less Romulan.
Well, not being less Romulan, more trying to bring them back in because they used to be together.
Well, but like that's kind of like the whole thing. Is that the reason the Romulans as a whole didn't want to do that is because of the fact that the Romulans generally just don't
All right, guys,
want
I'm
to do
out. You all
Vulcan
have a good
things.
night. I gotta
Yeah,
leave.
me too.
All right.
Later.
Well, that and they didn't want to stop their emotion
Well, that's the other
with the
thing
emotion thing.
is that one of the things with the whole Vulcan thing is that living with Romulans doesn't require the Romulans to pretend to be Vulcans.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Exactly.
that's the one thing with the Vulcan logic thing that gets often overlooked, is that it's not exactly natural for Vulcans to be like that.
They did it because they started to fear their emotion. That was the entire problem.
Yeah, and it's a choice, not a requirement.
Right. Exactly. Like if you watch some of the older or newer, they show the spot where Spock was asking his mother about going through the ritual to cleanse his emotion.
And his mother's like, how should I know? I never did that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Well, his mother was human.
Yeah, Amanda Grayson. Aw, darn Invisiwall.
She was more like, do what it feels right to you, is what she basically said.
And Spock is like, yes, I guess that means for full obliteration of my entire ability to feel emotion.
Yep. But at that point, I just wanted to, you know.
I have to say, Virinat is one of the cooler maps that they did. Like they made it for the Romulan Republic story stuff, and when they rebuilt the Romulan mystery thing, they made one of the new versions of the Romulan mystery story arc. You actually get to go to Virinat as a Federation character. This, of course, is Virinat post everything, but you know, you at least get to look at the map.
Right.
I think it's actually even more trash than it is in that story mission where you go back to Virinat after the Elachi attack. It is interesting, though, that they set it up so that the piles of random scrap metal don't have walls around them, so that you can actually climb over the random scrap metal if you're good enough at parkour. I don't know that they actually added any perks for doing this stuff, though, so I don't think there's actually any real reason to do it, but it's fun. Going to Kobali. Oh, that roof has an invisible preventing me from jumping on the roof. Aw. If you go to Kobali, there's a bunch of perks for climbing on top of various things in Kobali. And then there's several things on Kobali that you can climb onto that I don't think the devs wanted you to climb onto, but, you know, it's not like it breaks the game or anything. The style of architecture they set up for VRNet is actually really neat looking. It's like, it kind of looks rustic. It also kind of looks like they're using salvaged materials for at least some of it. But it has a genuine architectural style to it all the same.
Can you do me a favor, Mar?
What?
Can you do you have access to the Lobby store on that one?
Okay, I'm in the middle of a story mission right now, and I don't have
Okay, I didn't realize you were. No, I was just curious because I was trying to figure out that Kelvin torpedo, what would enhance it
Oh, I see.
for the consoles.
What was the name of the torpedo?
It started with an A.
Altimid. The Altimid one, I remember some of its stats. It's actually a photon torpedo.
Photon. Okay.
Yeah, it's Altimid photon torpedo.
So I would want a photon detonation.
Yeah, if you're actually going with the standard stuff, anyways. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going standard until I can. I'm going standard until I can upgrade. Essentially.
Hit the wrong button. To summon the healing turret instead of shooting something.
Oh boy.
Oh, well. Well, it's one of those things that's like I was trying to do a carefully timed attack where my AoE would hit like all of the enemies instead of just one of them, and I messed up. Also, summoning the turret caused the enemies to aggro, and thus ruining the whole surprise attack aspect of it.
Come on. Trying to get a purple one, and it's not giving me a purple one.
Yeah. I remember this part of the map from the Romulan tutorial because they do this weapon familiarization thing because they built the Romulan tutorial for people who had never played Star Trek Online before. So they have this tutorial on how to use beam weapons. Like on ground, like basic, like how to shoot things with a disruptor pistol. Actually, wait, no, plasma. They actually gave you plasma for the Romulan tutorial. It's like, despite the fact that Romulans in the TV show use disruptor, they decided to have the Romulan Republic in Star Trek Online use plasma. It's a really cool map, and like they built it for like the one story mission.
Finally. There we go. Finally got the console I wanted.
You know, VRNet as a social zone actually has a viable logic to it, though, because you're looking at a version of Virenat after the issues with the Elachi abducting people have been resolved. Here to scan. There's some sort of a marker on the map. Okay, tricorder says go that way. Oh, there's a dead cut. Okay, this is a weird one. There's a colonist corpse on the planet, but if you look closely at the colonist corpse, this is a person who is partially transformed by exposure to Elachi fungal spores.
Mm-hmm.
But normally the Elachi would do that in a nice, safe conversion chamber and not leave the body of the person being transformed just laying on the surface of the planet. Because, like, when you play the Romulan tutorial, there's that phase in the tutorial where you have the Elachi ships flying overhead and just, like, beaming people off the ground. That's why. Is that they're beaming them into conversion chambers.
Trying to think what kind of engines I should throw on my Romulan ship.
What set are you using?
I don't really have a set yet. I do have the Solene warp singularity.
Because, like, usually you would choose which things benefit your weapons, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Tetrian. I have a character that specializes in Tetrian, but it's not something I mess with a lot. And I don't remember off the top of my head what gear
Citizens of
he
the
uses.
Empire, when the Tal Shiar attempted to remove the insurrectionists and save Virenat,
Ooh, an
I guess
Igolith drone popped up. That's fun. You know what? Before I beam up, I want to try and see if I can get into the river. Because I think this particular beam up thing is a map-wide volume, so that if I do happen to fall through geometry, I can just exit. And also, it's like, I think that at this current stage, if I was to just leave the map in general, and it would put me on the next part of the story mission anyways. Oh, right. It's like, as part of the story mission on Virenat that you play as a Romulan Republic character, you have to go through this cave thing over here, and I think this has an invisible wall preventing you from going through it. This feels like an invisible wall. It was like crawling inside the cave with the Kelid bugs living in it. It was kind of interesting in the story. Oh, you know what? That's actually one thing that's a useful trick when you're exploring like this and trying to figure out where the invisible walls are. Use an IDIC tribble. When you pet an IDIC tribble, it causes that IDIC splash effect to pop up on the screen. if that splash effect touches an Inviswall, it will light up the Inviswall.
Interesting.
Okay, there is actually a very small part of the water in this river that you can get into, but very, very disappointingly small. Well, I mean, like, you know how there's that invisible floor in the competitive rep PvP ground thing? Well,
Right.
that was actually something that came up when that was new, is making a list of everything that would let you reveal where the real floor was, even though the floor is supposedly invisible. Getting a long list of things that would interact with the floor.
Warning. Ship is under attack. Target's shields have failed.
And I think dribbles were one of them. The catch, of course, is that you can't hit dribbles while enemy things are shooting. So, limited utility there. Trying to remember what the name of it was. There's one of them that creates this icy mist effect around you that falls to the floor. Well, it will fall to the real floor all the way down if it's not touching a invisible floor. Oh yeah, there's also that kit module for the called Psionic Command R that also does something similar to that. That one's a purple. I forget exactly what it is. I guess like psionic fog is a good way of explaining.
Ship is under attack.
I love that. So, or not character, bridge officer. So I have this bridge officer, and his name is Placeholder.
Sounds fun.
I think that's hilarious.
There's several rather interesting names that can pop up because, like, some of the things have like properly randomized names, and those random names are just utter nonsense.
Target's shields have failed.
Okay, that was a new one. I found one of the chronal distortions by mashing F while in the middle of fighting a Alachi battleship. Still haven't actually seen it. It's somewhere in this combat area. I'm not sure exactly where.
Alright, bud. I'm gonna actually hop off here.
See you later.
Target's shields have failed.
Okay, I just had the thing pop up again. I still don't actually. Oh, there it is. Oh wow, that is really really small. This is going to be hilarious if it has a ship show up. Oh boy. So, none of them is a 1. Got it. Okay, one of them is a 2. I don't know which one yet. Alright, see how many of them are 3s. Okay, one of them is a 3. Two of them are 4s. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, and 4. Now to figure out which is which. Since the first one is 2, change the second one to 3 and test that. Oh my. So, only one of them is actually correct. So trying to change second digit to 2. Change the third digit to 3. And change the first digit to 4. And see how that goes. Nope. Then again, I'm not sure if the fourth digit is right either. Okay, the fourth digit was definitely right. Good. It's good to know. First digit. I haven't tried that one as 3 yet. Second digit, 4. Which I guess leaves a third digit for being 2. Alrighty then. That was right. And take items. I got a quantum field focus. Sure.
On behalf of the
Odd that the answer hail thing was stuck like that. Huh. Oh well. At least I got the probe objective completed beforehand. I have to say, the Romulan Republic Defensive New Romulus story mission is one of the most epic story missions, simply due to the sheer number of ships
The
involved.
Romulan Republic extends their sincere gratitude for your assistance in saving their homeworld. We now know the
these
race you
mission
encountered
rewards
there is
are
called
junk.
the Ilachi, and they are the
All of
Tall
these are
Shah's
generic
new
items that
allies.
you could
From
easily
what you
craft.
found on Virinat and what they tried to do at New Romulus, I'd say that whatever
And they're all
doing,
equally-
it's not in our best interests. The Republic is continuing to search for clues.
Congratulations, Admiral.
I have new missions for you.
Now, the deflector I'm actually going to use, because the fact that the deflector I'm currently using is a Mark II that I've had equipped for I don't know how long. Actually doesn't even give me a whole lot of stats. So this one is a lot better. I'm going to keep that, though, because it's one of those unique TOS ones. Oh yeah, I forgot to equip these. Oh right, I was going to go to a space map and then look at this. That's on a space map.
On a forgotten world, a shadow of great evil lurks, waiting for the chance to strike. The truth may be the harbinger of the greatest threat the Federation has ever faced.
It is a pleasure to be working. Agents, Taris can...
Greetings. The hope is the direct...
I'm sorry to...
All right, so stats. All right, so
I am detecting some very rare minerals in the system, as well as the presence of protomatter.
attack,
Taris used the materials here to
movement. Here we are.
construct her weapon.
Turn rate 9.7 degrees a second, flight speed 23.81, inertia 40. So we equip this. Wait, really? Prototype gravitic impulse engines is not bind on pickup? Very, very strange. Although, quite frankly, it's not exactly game-breaking, because no one cares about those anyways. So, turn rate didn't change. My flight speed did go up, though. Now, the Bozeman things have a weird special effect that causes your turn rate to go down when you're at full throttle, so... what else? Anyway, I should have launched fighters before I did that. That is an interesting trail. I don't remember my ship doing that trail before. Scan chronal distortion. Oh, it's the number thing again. Fine. One of them is a 1 this time. Good. None of them is a 2. Okay. One of them is a 3. Maybe this time one of them will actually be a 5. Didn't have any pop up as 5 last time. One of them is 4. So one of them is a 5. Okay, so 1, 3, 4, 5. 1, 3, 4, 5. All right, none of those is in the right place. 3, 4, 5, 1. Okay. 2 of them are right. Okay, but match station location 1. Okay, so I think the first one is 4. So let's try 4, 5, 1, 3. Oh. Okay. I guess match ditch and location must have been 3 for position 2 then. Hey, Captain Patriot. So it had to do an extra long patch, huh? Okay, so... Okay, I'm going to guess it's... I'm going to try... Actually, you know what? I'm not really sure. See, because like having 3, 4, 5, 1 gave me 2 right location. Changing it to this gives me 0. And... I'm actually wondering if 5-1 was actually the 2 that were... Well, no, it's like one of them... 3... 5... 1... 4... Oh, yeah, install corruption. Yeah, those are the... Alright, second digit should be 3, I guess. 3... 4. I haven't tried 5 in first position yet. I guess fourth digit gets to be 1. Yeah. Okay. Try that. Oh. That made it worse, not better. Interesting. See how this goes. No. Okay, first digit is definitely 5. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 1. The exact opposite of the order I tried them in the first time. Oh, yay. This time I think it's like common quality parts. Yeah. Ah, well. So, now that that's done with, we can continue on. Ye. Now, decalithium is one of those things that's weird because of the fact that, yes, it is a thing from the TV series, except that in the TV series, it's, kind of portrayed as being kind of ridiculous. And the idea that the Hobus system has decalithium in it is a very, very strange one. is this Obisek? Because if it's Obisek and his friends, we don't really need to worry.
Warning. Ship is under attack.
Nope. They're not friendly.
Warning. Ship is under attack. Target's shield has failed.
Well, that was a quick way of getting the ship. All right, let's warp over. Do you have any idea what Tekasite is? Nope.
As I suspected, the materials are all here. Our agent located Taris on planetary fragment Gamma. We should continue our search there.
Now here we have two material nodes to pick up. I don't feel like stopping to pick them up. I bottom tier junk crafting. Now this is interesting because this is a large enough planetary fragment that it still has livable space.
Your price, sir.
Ship is under attack. Target's shield has failed.
The minerals in the planetary fragment will conceal the ship's energy signal.
Ha! Interesting.
The asteroid's
Having
near.
the Sitesh
Our energy
transition from
I predict
hostile
Orion
to
will approach
pacified
investigate further.
while in the process of firing plasma seekers at me actually caused the plasma seekers to become friendly as well and thus not damage me when they hit. Okay. That's something that's not something you can do in most missions.
What happened here? We were attacked by Starfleet saboteurs. They appear to have fled.
This cutscene is not working because my ship is too large.
Interesting.
Now this is different from the old mission because there actually used to be a mission where you would wander around inside the biodome on that planetary fragment, which was fun because it was a low G mission, so you would have increased jump height for all characters. All right. Well, now we're in Iconia. Yeah, we all know what that means.
Federation. That is.
Warning. Ship is under attack. Target's shields have failed.
I took the liberty of accessing the intercool systems before it was destroyed.
This is one of those where I'm like, wait, how did you hack their computer? Whatever.
These are the core.
Now, this is an interesting art style here because certain aspects of this are very, very Romulan. Like, this is the way Star Trek Online does Romulan transporter pads. That's a Romulan computer console. These dinguses are not specifically Romulan. But note how it has, like, spider webs. Spider webs so strong I can stand on them. I think the idea is that this facility is supposed to be a leftover of before the Hobus disaster, but if you look at that dingus in the corner, that's Iconian technology. Yeah, that orb up there. Yeah, there's another one over here. Actually, all four, well, 3 of the 4 corners in this room have them. The 4th one has some other glowing orb instead. Which honestly kind of looks like that, except without the metal ball wrapped around it. You know,
Starfleet! How did they find us?
They must have followed me, Kratos. I will deal with them.
No, I need your help at the gateway. Send your guards.
you know, I probably could have photobombed the cutscene by if I triggered that a fraction of a second faster. Drone. I just killed one of the people that. Yeah, I've actually been noticing that. Is that for some reason Marshall Janeway's creations, where she assimilates people, don't immediately become friendly. And that time they got killed at it. So anyways, yeah, some of this stuff looks Romulan, but the actual facility itself is Iconian. Like, pre-fall of Iconia, Iconian stuff. Why did the thing close? guess I'm not allowed to fine. Maybe.
Enough. They were.
Get into my holding cell. It's still here as an interactable object. Yeah, this isn't exactly the same as it was originally, but it's pretty similar in concept anyways. And of course, check lithium, because why not? Where's the fourth one? Oh, right, okay. Now I can... No. Oh, I'm actually supposed to interact with the console. So why is the gateway interactable at all? I guess the gateway's not supposed to be interactable. First of the mission. Boy, because this is definitely not the way the mission was programmed originally.
How nice to see you, but you played the pawn perfectly.
The Lysetan...
Taris is wanted by the Romulan Star Empire for high treason and war crimes against the Romulan people. The Empire.
I don't like the third one. Yes, the first part of it is interesting, but let's face it.
Turn this terrorist over for trial and punishment.
The trial and punishment isn't the reason why I would want to keep her. She knows things that, yeah. The first one is actually a great option. Very, you know, realpolitik kind of thing. Now, the second one is one of those things that's interesting where it has a whole lot of exposition. But let's face it, the trial isn't the main reason we want Taris in the first place. Because we know Taris is not actually the mastermind. And we want to find out from Taris who the mastermind is.
You are a disappointment. Nevertheless, you did remove Taris from the game, and for that I am grateful.
Prisoner transfer. Do you have any idea where they went?
Looks like we missed.
And we're done.
We have much to consider.
Yeah, the older
If the
version of
destruction
that
the
one,
Romulan
the ground
homeworld
map
was
had a
deliberate
slightly
act,
different
not only
decor,
was it
but
mass murder, but that one event has been
it was a
major
very
cause of
similar
the
decor, honestly.
destabilization of the quadrant over the past 40 years.
Now, this is
Not to
something that's
mention the light
interesting
that it
because you
casts
look
on
at
the
this, you're like,
internal
oh,
struggle
that's
of
junk,
the
that's
Romulan
junk, that's
people.
junk, that's junk.
This
Yeah,
one
then you have
horrible
this
act
one
set
here,
off a
which is...
chain of reactions that could change the galaxy
What the heck is
forever.
Numiri?
We must know who did this
Well,
and
it's
why.
something that's been there for
The
a long time. I
interrogation of
still
Taris
don't
will
understand
no
what
doubt lead
exactly
to
it...
many truths.
why we get a
I am
Numiri
troubled
shield
by these
map,
remnants.
but we do.
Why did
Now,
they turn
Numiri
on
Regenerative
Taris?
Shield is
And where
just
did they
really,
go?
really fast regenerative shield. Simple as that.
I have
Congratulations.